Okay, but good evening, all of you. I hope you can see all of you, like the screen what I'm sharing. Moving to chapter 5, that is back. Okay, so maybe you remember like the muscles what we will make it fast because like what are the muscles we are going to see here before we now see here. So we have done the dissection of back when you were there in medical college, right? So what did we do? We have reflected the skin coming from the external occipital protuberance almost up to the lumbar vertebra, isn't it? Like till the sacrum, we have reflected the skin, and then once you have reflected the skin, you remember like the very first muscle which was seen is trapezius. Okay, trapezium shaped, right and left side. Then below this trapezius, you are finding the next muscle, that is latissimus dorsi. Okay, underlying that we are finding rhomboids major, rhomboids minor. Okay, now see here, so this is our practical thing. First I want you to get oriented exactly where do we see these muscles. Once we know where these muscles are, then automatically we will see the origin insertion, which is not a great problem. Suppose if you look at trapezius, roughly speaking, so from where is it originating? See, this is the external occipital protuberance and this is superior nuchal line. This is medial 1/3 of the superior nuchal line, and this structure which is attached to the spines of cervical vertebrae, it is called as ligamentum nuchae. And then we have the spines of thoracic vertebrae. So from here you are finding all the muscle fibers are originating, and we know they are getting inserted in the clavicle and acromion process. So do you remember where is the trapezius getting inserted? See, when you talk about the lateral 1/3, the posterior border of the lateral 1/3 is receiving the insertion of trapezius, and also the upper border of the spine of the scapula is also receiving the trapezius. Now, can anybody tell me what is the nerve supply of trapezius? I told you when I was discussing head and neck. Hansraj?
11th cranial movement.
Excellent, excellent, but I appreciate. Can you name it?
हाँ
नाम बोलो, नाम बताओ बेटा. नाम.
accessory
हाँ. Spinal part of accessory. Which is the other muscle which is supplied by the accessory cranial nerve?
sternocleidomastoid.
Excellent. Very good, beta. Very good. So sternocleidomastoid and trapezius both are supplied by the accessory nerve. Very good. Now coming to this, what is this bulky muscle what we are seeing? This is latissimus dorsi. Do you remember when we were doing scapula, from the inferior angle of the scapula also we saw some few fibers of latissimus dorsi were originating. In fact, latissimus dorsi is originating from the spines of the lumbar vertebra, from the sacrum, from the iliac crest, isn't it? Then, do you remember lady between two majors in the humerus bone insertion point? Intertubercular sulcus. Lady is standing for latissimus dorsi only. Medial lip, lateral lip. Medial lip we had teres major. Lateral lip we had pectoralis major. In between we had the insertion of latissimus dorsi. Okay, that means once you have reflect the skin, you have seen this picture, right? So after that what we have is, see here, now you have cut trapezius. You have removed this, you have practically done when you were there. So when you have removed the trapezius, now you are finding three muscles. What are the muscles which are attached to the medial border of the scapula? This is the midline. So obviously this is the medial border of the scapula. So what are the muscles we have? Levator scapulae, rhomboids minor and rhomboids major. Okay, from the root of the spine, okay, till the upper part, medial border, whatever we have. So this is all giving origin, insertion in fact to the levator scapulae. Okay, and where is the origin then? See here, the spines and the transverse processes of C1, C2, C3 and C4. That is for levator scapulae, origin. Insertion is above the root of the spine we have. Then we have next muscle we have is minors above, majors below. I have been telling you. So this is rhomboids minor. So from where is it coming, beta? C7 and T1. Spines of C7 and spines of T1 you are finding. This is the rhomboids minor, which is getting an insertion at the root of the spine. Okay. Then we have lower down T2, T3, T4, T5. These are the spines of the thoracic vertebra. From there, if you see, the insertion is going up to the inferior angle. That is, this is all medial border. So, if you can understand this picture, automatically you will write the origin. Then below the spine, along the medial border, till the inferior angle is the insertion of rhomboids major. That's it, beta. Okay. Now see, if this is a same muscle, that bulky latissimus dorsi, you can see it is coming from the iliac crest. No, it is coming from the inferior angle, and then the twisted tendon is getting inserted in the intertubercular sulcus. Okay, that is the twisted tendon we are finding here. Okay, so that is. So now see here, once you remove the trapezius, you are able to see these three muscles. What are those? Levator scapulae, rhomboids minor, rhomboids major. So here we have studied brachial plexus much in detail. Okay, just now Hansraj told us spinal accessory nerve is the nerve which is supplying the trapezius. That means this nerve is going underneath, below the trapezius to supply the muscle. That's the reason once you cut and reflect trapezius, under surface of the trapezius will be showing this nerve. Okay, which is accompanied by superficial branch of transverse cervical artery. Okay, beta? Then. So do you remember we had this suprascapular notch where we have suprascapular vessels and nerves are here. Okay. Now see here, before I go to further details, now we will go systematically. Okay, because now you got an idea where are these muscles. Now with the help of diagram, we have seen trapezius, latissimus dorsi, levator scapulae, rhomboids minor and major. Okay, just to go through this table, but I have already told you the origin insertion of all these muscles. For example, if I talk about trapezius, I told you it is trapezium shaped. Isn't it? Right half one muscle, left half. Together it forms trapezium. What did I say? It is coming from external occipital protuberance, then medial 1/3 of superior nuchal line, ligamentum nuchae, C7 spine, T1 to T12 spines, and corresponding supraspinous ligament. Okay, where is this getting inserted? See here, posterior border, I said, isn't it? Lateral 1/3 of the clavicle. Middle fibers will go to the acromion. Okay, that is, and also to the upper lip of the crest of the spine of scapula. Okay, lower fibers, the triangular area. I'll show you what is the triangular area. This is the triangular area. Okay, but of course this is the root of the spine and this becomes the triangular area. Okay, well, let us go back just to see more details. This is from your textbooks only. Either you follow Chaurasia or Vishram Singh. Any one muscle, especially trapezius, is very, very important, which can come as 5 marks question. But we can't say latissimus dorsi also may come. Okay, but all these muscles, if you thoroughly understand the picture, automatically you will write origin insertion. Okay, nerve supply, we already know trapezius, spinal part of accessory nerves. Okay, what is this doing? Trapezius, it is helping in elevation of scapula, like this. When you say I don't know, that means shrugging of shoulders is brought about by the upper fibers of the trapezius. Middle fibers along with rhomboids, they retract. Retract means they just make it flat downwards. Okay, so those are the middle fibers. Okay, upper and lower fibers, you remember we had serratus anterior here from the ribs, upper 8 ribs going to the medial border of the scapula. So both of them, they help in the abduction of the arm. See, this is 90 degrees. Suppose if we are moving above 90 degrees, beyond 90 degrees action is brought about by the upper and lower fibers along with serratus anterior. Okay, beta, latissimus dorsi. You remember in the in which card? In the like posterior card, we had a code called as ulnar. No, L was standing for nerve to latissimus dorsi, also called as thoracodorsal nerve. That means it is coming from the posterior cord of brachial plexus. Okay, which is supplying the latissimus dorsi. Okay, you can read. Just go through, beta. You please thoroughly follow the things what is given in your textbooks because all these muscles are important. Okay, so latissimus dorsi, at least 2 actions you try to remember: adduction, extension, and medial rotation of shoulder. That means it is helping in swimming, rowing, climbing. Okay, essentially it is a climbing muscle. It holds the inferior angle of scapula in place. Okay, then So levator scapula helps in elevation of scapula. It steadies the scapula during the movements of arm. So levator scapula is supplied by dorsal scapular nerve. You remember from C5 root itself we had this nerve, dorsal scapular, supplying levator scapulae. Rhomboids minor and major both are also supplied by dorsal scapula. Okay, so they help in retraction of scapula, which I have shown you the action. Okay, so you can see, like, we know already neuroanatomy is done, you know, pretty well. Like this is midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, continuous spinal cord. Okay, so here you are finding from C5 all these roots which is coming like this. Actually this is the spinal root of accessory nerve. Okay, from C5, C4, C3, C2, C1, it has its roots, rootlets, okay, which contributes to the spinal part of accessory nerve. Okay, cranial part comes from the medulla oblongata. Okay, just to show that fact, that picture has been kept. Okay, that is. You can remember, like, trapezius is a shrugging muscle. Okay, so it is supplied by the spinal part of the accessory nerve. Okay, trapezius along with serratus, they cause 90 degrees to 180 degrees of abduction at shoulder joint. Okay, like this. Okay, beta. So now after this, I will take you to one more next lesson. This was chapter 5 back. Go to chapter 6. Yeah. This is fast only because we have done it pretty well. Scapular region. This muscle is 100% 5 marks question, deltoid. Okay, before I show you deltoid, I will ask you questions. Because I told you so nicely. Abhinav? It's there or not? Can
Yes,
you tell
ma'am.
me, tell me the origin of deltoid?
Arm of what?
Deltoid muscle. Deltoid muscle. Deltoid. Okay, anybody else, beta? Hema? Hansraj? Meghana? Scapula, if you have studied thoroughly, clavicle, if you have studied thoroughly, our job is done. I told you, that's why read also.
Upper anterior border and upper surface of clavicle originates from the acromion and also spine of scapula.
Which lip of the spine of the scapula? Lower lip. Okay.
Yes.
Lower lip. Okay. Where is the insertion point?
Deltoid tuberosity.
Where do we find deltoid tuberosity?
Humerus.
Humerus. Okay, very good. See, as Abhinav just told us, it has origins from 3 directions. It's a multipinnate muscle. Okay, so that means it has, like, first of all, let us discuss origin. See, as just Abhinav told us, see, this deltoid is originating from the clavicle. Okay, from where? The lateral 1/3 of the clavicle, anterior border. Okay, then lateral 1/3 anterior border of the clavicle, then whole of the acromion process, that is the, like, lateral border of the acromion process, this one. This becomes medial and this becomes lateral. And then this is the spine of the scapula. Just now I told you this is the upper lip and this is the lower lip. So it comes from the lower lip of the spine of the scapula. That means the fibers are coming from clavicle, from acromion process and from the spine. That means from all the directions, the fibers will converge and they get inserted into the deltoid tuberosity. Okay, you can see the direction. Okay, downwards they are coming, okay, medially, and they are getting inserted into deltoid tuberosity. Now, what is the meaning of multipinnate muscle? You see, when you see inside, actually the fibers coming from the clavicle and also from the spine of the scapula are not multipinnate. Only the fibers which are coming from acromion are multipinnate fibers, because you will see there are intermuscular septum. Okay, so coming, like, how many septa usually we have coming from the acromion? We have 4 septa, and then from the deltoid also we have the septa. So between the septa you are finding feather like arrangement of muscle fibers. Okay, so this direction will make it as multipinnate origin. Only acromial fibers are multipinnate. Okay, the clinical significance is you are finding what is the clinical significance of deltoid, Hema? Why deltoid is so important?
Like, it maintains the shoulder joint in place.
Anything else?
Uh,
Site for intramuscular injection.
Yeah, very good, beta Meghana. It's a site.
what, ma'am?
Intramuscular injections.
Okay.
Intramuscular injections are given in the deltoid muscle. That is the importance. Can anybody tell me what is the nerve supply of deltoid? I have been repeating. Abhinav, Hansraj, Meghana. Nerve supply of deltoid. Which nerve? Meghana?
C.
Yes.
One axillary nerve.
Yeah, axillary nerve. Axillary nerve, beta. Axillary nerve. Remember, teres minor and deltoid. Both are supplied by axillary nerve. I told you, no, surgical neck of the humerus, posterior circumflex humeral artery and axillary nerve, both are present at the surgical neck of the humerus. So that when a person is falling on outstretched hand, if surgical neck of the humerus is fractured, deltoid will get paralyzed. Okay, beta? So that thing we should know thoroughly about deltoid muscle. Now, what is given in the text part we will see. See, the scapular region has many structures which are closely related and they are surrounding the shoulder joint. So deltoid, the anterior origin is anterior border and adjoining surface of the lateral 1/3 of the clavicle, lateral border of the acromion, where 4 septa, just green lines we saw just now, 4 septa of origin are attached. Lower lip of the crest of the spine of the scapula. Insertion deltoid tuberosity, which is seen on the lateral surface of humerus. Okay, 3 septae are arising, which interdigitate. That means from deltoid tuberosity, 3 septae, from acromion, 4 septae, they interdigitate. Isn't it better? See, these are 4 in number. ऊपर से 4 है, नीचे से 3 है. So they are interdigitating. 1, 2, 3, 4 from above. 1, 2, 3 from below. So they are interdigitating, and then you are finding the muscle fibers are coming in between these septae. Okay, that is. So insertion. Where is the insertion of this muscle? It's a multipinnate muscle and many fibers arise from 4 septa of origin that are attached above the acromion. They converge and they get, where is the insertion? Deltoid tuberosity. Yeah, Meghana said it is root value is C5, C6 and Abhinav told us the name axillary nerve. Okay. See, deltoid has always, see, when you talk about the relations of shoulder joint, anteriorly you will see deltoid, superiorly you will see deltoid, posteriorly you will see deltoid, because the origin is coming from clavicle, origin is coming from acromion, origin is also coming from the spine of scapula. From all the directions we see the origin. That's the reason it has some relations all around. Okay, so that means it is helping what are the various movements are possible. It is powerful abductor of the arm. Abduction means you are taking the arm away from the shoulder joint. Okay, beginning to 90 degrees. That means starting point to 90 degrees is carried by the deltoid muscle. Okay, then the anterior fibers are flexors and medial rotators. Posterior fibers are extensors and lateral rotators. Okay, multipinnate, see here. Acromial fibers 90 degrees. Clavicular fibers medial rotation and flexion. And acromial fibers, they go behind. That means when they contract, they bring about extension and lateral rotation. Okay, beta? So that is. So apart from that, all these muscles, I will show and discuss. See, what are the various muscles we have already seen, beta, when we were discussing scapula. See, above the spine of the scapula, we have supraspinatus. Below the spine of the scapula, we have infraspinatus. Okay. Then along the lateral border, we have teres minor, teres major. Okay. Then, do you remember we have sit muscles, isn't it, which are attached to the greater tubercle, isn't it? See here. It forms shoulder cuff or rotator cuff or musculotendinous cuff which gives stability to the shoulder joint. Okay, so that means you have here, see, this is supraspinatus, this is infraspinatus, and teres minor. All are attached to the greater tubercle of the humerus. Okay, and of course, teres major. I have been repeating, lady between two majors. So that means medial lip gives insertion to teres major, lateral lip gives insertion to pectoralis major, and in the floor we have latissimus dorsi, intertubercular sulcus attachments. I am telling you. I'm repeating so many times so that you easily understand when you go through the table. Now see, which aspect of the scapula bone is this, Meghana? Which aspect is this? Inside aspect? Costal surface. And Hansraj?
Subscapular.
So the name of the muscle is subscapularis. Okay, so sits, no, shoulder cuff. So that means, see, lesser tubercle, see, insertion into the lesser tubercle of the humerus. From whole of the scapular fossa, you will see the muscle subscapularis getting inserted into the lesser tubercle of the humerus. Okay, beta? Now see, we need not panic, many muscles are there now, because you know thoroughly pretty well from this. See, we have just studied sits, supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, subscapularis, teres major, isn't it? So coming to the nerve supply, this we have already covered when we were doing brachial plexus. Just now I told you, deltoid and teres minor are supplied by axillary nerve. Okay, then coming to supraspinatus, suprascapular nerve. Infraspinatus also suprascapular nerve. Okay, subscapularis, we have upper and lower subscapular nerves. Okay, ulnar word, upper subscapular, lower subscapular. Name of the muscle is subscapularis. Name of the nerve is subscapular nerve. Upper and lower, like that you try to remember. Teres major is just below this, no, subscapularis, like along the lateral border. Okay, lower side. So it is very close to this nerve. That's how it is supplied by lower subscapular nerve. Okay, try to see the actions also. Supraspinatus, it steadies the head of the humerus. That means it stabilizes. It initiates the movement of shoulder joint. It's the lateral rotator of arm. Okay, teres minor, same as infraspinatus. That means it is also lateral rotator. Same like posterior fibers of deltoid, but nothing but. Okay, subscapularis is medial rotator and adductor. That means which fibers of deltoid? Clavicular fibers, same like clavicular fibers of deltoid. Even teres major also same, medial rotator and adductor of arm. Okay, so now see, deltoid, I told you it's a 5 marks question. It will be specified what are the structures you see under the cover of deltoid muscle. Write the origin, insertion, nerve supply, action of deltoid, and what are the structures under the cover of deltoid. Then what should we write? Below the deltoid muscle, we are finding the upper end of the humerus, isn't it? We are finding coracoid process. Okay, we are finding other muscles which are seen. See, what are the muscles attached to coracoid process? We know pectoralis minor, isn't it? So that is, then actually even we see the short head of biceps, isn't it? So the other muscles, once you cut there, you will see supraspinatus, infraspinatus, sits, you remember beta, Hema, sits, SITS. It becomes easy for you. Supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, and subscapularis. Okay, pectoralis major. Remember that lady between two majors, nothing but, see, this is lady, this is one major, this is one more major. This is in the floor of intertubercular sulcus latissimus dorsi, medial lip teres major, lateral lip pectoralis major. Whatever we see the attachments at the upper end of the humerus, all those are seen under the cover of deltoid. So it makes your understanding and remembrance easy. What are the structures attached to coracoid process? Coracoid process itself is 3 marks question. Okay, we know coracobrachialis and short head of biceps brachii are attached. Actually, coracoid process is a best example of atavistic epiphysis. You study in general anatomy. What is atavistic epiphysis? That means the bone is formed somewhere. Okay, and during the embryological development, it moves and it goes and gets attached to the scapula. Okay, that is the meaning of atavistic epiphysis. Okay, so that means under the cover of deltoid, not only the muscles attached to the coracoid process, we also see long head of biceps, which are associated with supraglenoidal tubercle and infraglenoidal tubercle beta. Okay, everything there. Then lateral head of triceps brachii. Okay, all these are seen below the cover of deltoid. We find these vessels under the cover of deltoid. Third part of axillary artery. What are the branches we saw? Anterior circumflex humeral, posterior circumflex humeral, and subscapular. But here under the cover of deltoid, we are finding only two vessels, anterior circumflex humeral vessel and posterior circumflex humeral. Okay, nerve. Which nerve are we finding under the cover of deltoid? Axillary. What are the joints, ligaments and bursae we see? One is musculotendinous cuff, also called as rotator cuff. It itself is 5 marks question. When you talk about musculotendinous cuff, you should talk about SITS. Supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor and subscapularis. You should give the origin, insertion, nerve supply, action. See, all these muscles, no, they get flattened over the capsule of shoulder joint before they go and get inserted into the greater and lesser tubercles respectively. Because shoulder joint is structurally very weak joint. We have seen glenoid cavity is shallow, head of the humerus is quite big. Okay, so there is the congruence is not so well. Glenoid cavity is being so shallow, it cannot support the head of the humerus so well. So there are many other structures which are surrounding, which actually add to the stability of the shoulder joint. Okay, we will again, this point will be repeated when we are doing the shoulder joint. So musculotendinous cuff is nothing but it is flattened tendons of the sit muscles before they get inserted into greater tubercle and lesser tubercle. Okay, coracoacromial ligament we will study when we are doing the shoulder joint. It is running between the coracoid process and acromial process. Okay, subdeltoid or subacromial. Here M is missing beta. Subacromial bursa. Okay, subdeltoid. That means just below the deltoid muscle, you will have a sac filled with synovial fluid. You call it as subdeltoid bursa. Okay, bursa. Now see here. Bursa are nothing but extensions of the synovial membranes which are filled with synovial fluid. Wherever friction is more, in order to give more lubrication, suppose this is deltoid muscle, below deltoid, this white area here, you will find that subdeltoid bursa. Okay, beta? Now, this picture is showing us deltoid muscle. And we know like this is the surgical neck of the humerus. In the surrounding the surgical humerus, we have anteriorly anterior circumflex humeral vessel, posteriorly posterior circumflex humeral vessels. Along with posterior circumflex, we have axillary nerve. Okay, we know deltoid is supplied by axillary nerve. Okay, that is. So this is rotator cuff beta, whatever you are seeing. This is glenoid cavity. This is glenoidal labrum. This point we will discuss again in shoulder joints. This is the fibrous capsule. Over these 6 muscles, you can see supraspinatus, ISIT, infraspinatus, teres minor, and this is subscapularis. Below deltoid, you will have subdeltoid bursa. Below acromion, this is subacromial bursa.